But every year, one stands out in particular for the way he had reached a level of wisdom and morality like none other. Qasim ibn al-Hasan. Qasim ibn al-Hasan was one of the 6-7 sons of Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam, who was there on the plains of Karbala. This young man, believe you me, is a role model. And do you know why? I believe that on the 10th of Muharram, one of the most wonderful lines you'll ever see of wisdom. Wisdom, for you to say this, for example, at the age of 11, is not something small. Because some of the companions would have conversations with Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. When they'd have these conversations, of these conversations, there'd be these conversations which one day someone has to write about a book. Which type of book? The intimate conversations of the afternoon of the 10th of Muharram. The intimate conversations. Some are conversations between a brother and a sister, 57 and 55 years of age. Some are intimate conversations between a mom and her 6-month-old baby. Some are intimate conversations between an elder brother and a younger brother, but seeing a younger brother with no arms. There are many intimate conversations in Karbala. Conversations of intimacy, of softness. And of them, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam with Qasim. How? Because they'll always have this intimate conversation. It looks like we're going to die, Abu Abdullah. Sukaina would ask him, Dad, have you submitted yourself to death? Is these the final moments? Akbar would speak to him, are we not on the truth? Are these not the final moments? Qasim with his uncle. When his uncle began to make clear that these are the final moments, and then he looked at Qasim. When he looked at him, he said to him, my nephew, how do you view death? Allahu Akbar. Look at the level of maturity you can reach in your youth. You want to throw all sorts of immorality on our youth. Our youth are the sons of Qasim and Akbar, the sons of Aun and Muhammad. Qasim, how do you view death? It's a question. Many of us are scared of death. Many of us don't want to talk about death. Many of us want to run away from death. He says, uncle, with you, death is sweeter than honey. Allah, what a line. With you, it's sweeter than honey. But on that afternoon of the 10th of Muharram, something stopped Abu Abdullah from sending him out. What was it? Every time he'd look in Qasim, he'd see his brother in his eyes. He was close to Imam al-Hasan alayhi salam. So at that moment, you would find that when Qasim came to him, young man, he came to him, he said to him, uncle, it's my turn now. I want to go out and defend you. This same Qasim had a brother called Abdullah who had defended Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Imam al-Hasan came towards Qasim. He said to him, Qasim, no, your mother Ramla, she's on the army, she's in the tent. Because this was a sensitive moment, my dear brothers and sisters. On one side, what did you have? On one side, you had the Fazaris, and the other. So Ramla's side of her family were in Yazid's army. Imagine this. The Fazaris were in Yazid's army. She is in Imam al-Hussein's army. So he said to him, go look after your mom. Go back. His mom, the tears began to trickle from her eyes. She said, Qasim, why are you back? He said to her, Mom, my uncle didn't let me go. She said to him, why not? He said, you're too young. You should go and stay with your mom. It's as if Imam al-Hussein knows that in Shama Ghariba, they'll be kicking his mother. They'll be slapping his mother. They'll be hurting his mother. So the narration mentions that his mother said, young man, come with me. Imagine what type of mother is that. The tarbiyah, the morality. She said, Qasim, come with me. You know, she said that with a number of sons. This lady gave many on the 10th of Muharram, yes? Herself and Ishaq bin Talha gave many. She came to Abu Abdullah. She said, Abu Abdullah, this is the amana of your elder brother. This is the wasiyah of your elder brother. Your elder brother said there'll be a day when my brother Hussein is gharib and atshan at Karbala. Don't leave him, please. Make sure my sons represent him. Imam al-Hussein, of his soft spots was his brother Hassan. Why? Because Imam al-Hussein and Imam al-Hassan and Sayyidah Zainab, they saw all tragedies together. They saw the door pushed on their mother. They saw Ibn Muljam strike the sword on the head. He had seen the poison that venomously destroyed his brother. She said, Aba Abdullah, in the name of Hassan, my husband and your brother, let Qasim go. Don't let Qasim be disappointed. He broke down at that moment, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He truly broke down. May Allah give peace to the heart of Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. When she hears this, Qasim came out to the battlefield. Imagine this, I want you to all imagine this, because sometimes in the Masa'ib or the Na'i, many times we rush through it, but sometimes I feel some delicate moments need to be stopped at. Qasim, young, not affected by the pressure of society. Qasim came out, stood in front of everyone. When he came out, he stood and he recited lines of poetry. What lines did he want to mention? There are a couple of points in these lines. First, in Tinkuruni fa'ana najlul Hasan. That if you don't know me, maybe you don't know who I am. I'm the son of Hassan alayhi salam. He's making it clear. صبط النبي المصطفى والمؤتمن, that I'm the grandson of who? He's the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Then these lines, they break my heart. هذا حسين كالأسير المرتهن. Do you know what this Hussein is? He's like a prisoner, like a captive. Yes. بين أناس لا سق صوب المزن. He said that it's between these people, the most evil, the most treacherous of people. When he said these lines, he began to fight them one on one. You'd think that Imam al-Hassan had come back to life in the way that Qasim was defending Imam al-Hussein. One by one, he'd attack the soldiers of the opposition and none of them could get to him. Every time when they'd attack him, he'd defend himself until he came to Abu Abdullah. He said, the armor of my body is heavy for me. But he remained strong. He continued to fight. Umar bin Sa'ad noticed something. Bani Hashim, you should never fight them one-on-one because they'll defeat you. It doesn't matter if they're 11. It doesn't matter if they're 70. They'll finish you one-on-one. All of a sudden, the men began to surround Qasim. Ramla's heart broke at that moment. May Allah give sabr to the mother of Qasim ibn al-Hasan. When they began to attack him, he still defended himself until one of the men struck him on his head. He fell and called out, my uncle Abu Abdullah, come to me. Imam al-Hussein at that moment, when he saw him on the ground, he came out running to him. He killed the opposition. He sat by that scene. May Allah give you sabr at this moment. He looked towards the eyes of his nephew. He said, it hurts me that you called upon me, but I could not help you, or that I came near you, but I was not able to save you. Imam picked up Qasim. I ask you one thing. How do you pick up a body with pieces everywhere? How do you pick that body up? Because he returned back to the tent. Sukaina called out, Baba, where is my cousin's body? Where is he? He entered the tent. Ramla did not cry straight away, nor did the other mother of the other son. Zainab looked at Imam al-Hussein. She said, Aba Abdullah, can you leave the tent? He said to her, why? She said, the mother wants to mourn for her son, but she doesn't want to break your heart. The Imam walked away. The mother fell on the body of her son. The way Rabab fell on Asghar and Layla fell on Akbar. That Sham Ghariba, just before it on the afternoon of the 10th of Muharram, these bodies were all lying on the ground. They had beheaded Imam al-Hussein. They had killed everybody else. Umar bin Sa'ad was standing there. He turned round to the horse riders. He said to them, I want you to all sharpen the hooves of your horses. They went, they sharpened the hooves of their horses. He then said to them, get ready now. They said, what do you want? He said, I want you to trample on the bodies of the companions of Hussein. They said to him, who do you want us to trample on? He began to mention name by name. Hur bin Yazid al-Riyahi. They said, but Hur's tribe, Banu Riyah, they came forward. They said, listen, you've killed our son. We can't let you trample on his body. He said, Muslim bin Awsaja, Habib bin Mudahir, the tribe of Bani Asad came. They said, listen, you've trampled on our son's body. We do not allow, we've killed him. You do not allow him to trample. One by one, they went through the tribes, but each of them had a tribe to protect them. All of a sudden, Umar bin Sa'ad called out, trample on the body of Bani Hashim's members. When he said, trample on the body of Qasim, Banu Fazara, who were on the side of Yazid, called out, you've killed our son, don't trample on his body. When he said trample on the body of Ali al-Akbar, at that side Ali al-Akbar was the relative of Yazid from his mother, and they said, you've already killed him, don't trample on his body. When he said trample on the body of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, al-Bani was related to Shimr bin al-Jawshan, so they said leave the body alone. At this moment, all of you know where I'm heading. At this moment they called out, is there anybody that lies on the ground whose mother and father's tribe are not here to protect him? They said to him, there's only one body that lies on the ground whose mother and father's tribe are not here to look after him. He said to them, whom? They said, Hussein bin Ali. At that moment, they began to dig their hooves into the chest of Abu Abdullah, kicking his body one side and the other. May Allah give sabr to Imam Sahib al-Asri wal-Zaman. Everyone had a tribe to protect their son, except the son of Ali and Fatima. Inna lillahi wa inna alayhi raji'un. Ya Allah, raise us with Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Raise us with the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asri wal-Zaman. Ya Allah, for all of our brothers around the world, give them patience in their tests. Ya Allah, allow us to visit the grave of Abu Abdullah and renew our covenant with Qasim ibn al-Hasan alayhi salam. My dear brothers and sisters, we have a number of people who are feeling unwell. Many of you have messaged me. There's a few names, Sayyid Muhammad Haidar Radawi, Sister Hasina Karmali, others who have asked. I would like all of us to recite together wherever we may be. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. All of us together. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. 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 Ya Allah, in the name of the one who was ill at Karbala, Imam Zain al-Abidin, cure all of our beloved ones. If we can please recite a Surah Al-Fatiha in honor of my great uncle Yahya who passed away only a few days ago, and may Allah bless the soul of all of his marhumeen. May Allah bless the soul of all of your marhumeen. Let us recite a Surah Al-Fatiha, but before it, wherever you may be, the loudest of your salawat. Allahumma salli.